And welcome to Can We Talk, the debate show where we bring society to you. Introducing our panel, to my right we have Danielle Gillum.
Hi, everyone.
To my left we have Tahid Williams. And straight ahead we have Steve Taylor.
What's up?
How you guys doing today?
Not bad.
Great.
Good. Well, we have some very interesting topics today. So let's get into the first one. Can we talk about, should children be required to exercise/play sports given the rate of obesity in America? We'll look to Steve to start this one off.
Well, I say no. And it's for a similar reason that I talked about before and other topics. You know, when are parents going to start being parents? I feel like they want to put everything on schools, put everything on coaches. Just everybody has to be a parent except the parent, you know what I mean? And I feel like also forcing the kids to do an activity, they're not going to do it wholeheartedly, so you still aren't going to get the results necessary. And I feel like also people like to blame things on genetics a lot of the times.
What about the kids who don't have parents?
How did they get here?
Adoption, whatever. Somebody had them, but they might not have parents raising them. They
Well,
could be in a group home.
That's
this,
in
that,
the
and the
sense
third.
of
What
in the
happens to
sense of
them?
what I'm talking about. I'm talking about parents that are raising them.
So you're just
regardless,
talking about those kids.
no.
More so, I think
I'm
you
talking
guys are
about
looking more towards
parenting.
who the guardian is.
Exactly, parenting. I'm not talking about parents as in birth parents. I'm talking about parenting the kids, getting involved in their lives and actively doing something. Not saying, when you come home, you can play Xbox for 6 hours. Don't do your homework. Eat, McDonald's, and your culture type make you
Now, the
exercise.
question I have for you, Steve, is if you were the child that grew up without that kind of leadership or that parenting or whatever you want to call it,
Right.
would you feel gypped off the fact? I mean, you might be excited over the fact that you can go to school and know that you'll get your exercise because you're not giving it at home, and that is not your fault.
I don't disagree with that. What I'm saying is, this is just my take on the question, okay? If you don't exercise at home and you're not doing the stuff, the schools have to be the enforcer and make you do it. I think there's a problem there. I think that why do they have to be big brother? Why do they have to do the parenting? You can do it at school, great, but why do they have to force you to do it?
Isn't that what gym class
I don't
is?
think it'll be easily received coming from the school. I think it'll be, easily coming from me, my personal, standpoint of being once a chunkier, individual when I was younger. It's like nobody really wants. There's nothing fun about exercising. So if you're a child, you're not going to say, let me just, get involved in this sport or let me do this because I want to lose weight. I want to exercise. So
Yeah, but at the same time, there's nothing fun about punishing a child necessarily, but it needs to be done.
yeah, you're right. It does need to be done, but leaving it upon the school, like you say, I believe it starts at home. Like the old saying that my grandmother used to say, charity starts at home and spreads abroad. So if it's not being enforced at home, whatever anybody tells me out in the world, I don't have to listen to because my mom and my parents are not backing it up at home.
But sometimes your parents weren't exposed to the whole exercise factor either. Not saying that they shouldn't be punished for not exposing you to it, but if they weren't either, how are they supposed to teach you that you need to exercise? And your parents could be 300 pounds or
I got
whatever.
called
I got
a
something for you on the
generational
flip
curse.
side,
Y'all
though.
eat at McDonald's every
I got
night?
something for you on the flip side, though, because think about this. What about there's people out there also that say, oh, well, that's just not in our genetics. Everybody in our family's big, so no matter what, you can go exercise something. You're still going to be putting on X amount of pounds. That's just going to be your frame.
That's ignorance.
I agree with you, but what I'm saying is you have those people out there also. So by them promoting that type of, idea and that whole thinking process, now you put double the work on the gym teacher, whoever else, the coach, because you're already setting into this kid's mindset, regardless of anything I do, this is just how I'm going to be. So then they have to fight against
So
that.
is it safe to say that what we should be expecting educators to do is their job? So if I teach English,
Teach
English and nothing more.
Right. Now, also, how can we say, it's left up to the school when you have schools that are trying to take those extracurricular activities out? that would get them involved to help them, you know what I'm saying, be healthy. When they're trying to take away gym, they're trying to take away sports like basketball, football, lacrosse, whatever it is that they might be playing. That's one of the first things that when a school district or a school is facing a crisis, those are some of the things that they are, looking to cut
Right.
But that's the
immediately.
district's fault. That's not necessarily like, this is asking, should those things be infiltrated into the system? And I think they should. But you're saying like
By force or
system-wide.
just there for the taking?
I mean both. I mean, I feel like some kids. I feel like you get that stuff in gym class if you participate. I know we spoke about this earlier.
Bingo.
But I feel like for instance, me being exposed to softball, that wouldn't have happened if I didn't have gym class because I had no desire to play softball. And I was in gym like, oh, this is kind of cool. I played it and I hated it, but the fact is, I was exposed to it. So, like, being exposed to those different things that are outside of your comfort zone, it's hard to get that from your parents because y'all are usually in that same comfort zone.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think where I'm coming from is more so, like I said, like you said, the question is asking, should they be required to do that extracurricular activity? So if I'm required to do that, if, like, prime example in Philadelphia, that's one of the issues that they're facing right now with the school district is trying to cut some of them extracurricular activities. And one of the extracurricular activities on the chopping board is actually gym. Now, how are you going to take gym? That's, like you said, that's the most percentage any of the children in today's society get for exercising is gym class, if they participate in gym. But 9 times out of 10, you had the females who come in, don't want to get their hair weave messed up. They want to look cute after school. I'm going to take this detention, I'm the one sit out. So
I made a comment earlier, and I want to make sure that I clarify because I don't think it was received properly. I posed a question regarding whether or not educators should only do what their subject is. And I'm actually in complete disagreement of that. I think of the movie like Dangerous Minds that came out in 97, 96 or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, you had a woman going above and beyond what she was required to do as an educator.
Right.
And I mean, I feel as if you are getting into the field of education, you know what you're entering. And if you don't have a desire and a passion to want to teach and pull the best out of every student that you have, then I feel like you're in the wrong profession.
Right.
But that goes with like tenure. Like once people, like students or teachers in high schools or middle schools or anything like that, they work for 2 years and they're tenured automatically. College professors, it's a whole process. So they're automatically getting money, whether they sit there and do nothing or if they teach. So like for those teachers who know this and that's what they're going for, a paycheck, that's all they do.
And it's a shame and it's ridiculous.
So it's the
and
system.
yeah, and then
I think
know.
something
Well, I
needs
do
to
agree.
change.
Teachers, if you're a teacher, regardless of whether you're trying to or not, you're going to be impactful on somebody's life. I know certain teachers of mine, they were impactful on my life and were the reasons I started, to go down the path that I'm at now. So
And that's a very good point, Steve. So that's all the time we have for this segment. We will be talking about the stand your ground law next segment, so you don't want to go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Can We Talk?